Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Mark Brown. I would like to welcome you to Eastern Illinois University's third annual Minority Student Panel Discussion. The panel that will be speaking today consists of both undergraduate and graduate students from the College of Education and Professional Studies. These students have come today to discuss the personal experiences that they have had at Eastern Illinois University, in the classroom with their peers, and with their professors. This panel of students was put together by members of the Minority Recruitment and Retention Committee. I would like to acknowledge the members that make up this committee. Dr. Judy Barber is our committee chair. She's a professor in the Department of Early Childhood, Elementary and Middle Level Education. Dr. John Henry Pommier, he's professor in the Department of Recreational Administration. Dr. Nancy Barber, she is a professor in the Department of Counseling and Student Development. Dr. Susan Woods, she's a professor in the Department of Health Studies. And Dr. Nick Osborne, who couldn't be here today, he's the chair of the Department of Educational Administration. I would also like to thank our Dean, Charles Rowan, and our Associate Dean, Douglas Bauer, for their continued support. I would now like to introduce the members of this student panel. To my immediate right is Mr. Ari Tukes, and Mr. Tukes is a graduate student in the Department of Counseling and Student Development. Mrs. Gwinnett Tukes, she's also a graduate student in the Department of Counseling and Student Development. Mrs. Amna Latif, she is a graduate student in the Department of Educational Administration. Mr. Demarius Howard, he is an undergraduate in the Department of Psychology. And Mrs. Lita Chesser, she is an undergraduate student in the Department of Early Childhood, Elementary and Middle Level Education. The format for our panel discussion will be as follows. Each panel member will briefly discuss his or her educational background, as well as what brought them to Eastern Illinois University to pursue their present course of study. Each panel member will then have approximately 8 to 9 minutes to address the following 3 questions. The first question is, what positive and unique classroom experiences have you had as either an undergraduate or graduate student at Eastern Illinois University? The second question is, what challenges did you have to face when interacting with your fellow students, either in class or on a work-related activity or a work-related assignment outside of the classroom? And the last question is, how can we, as college professors and college staff, serve as a vehicle of support for you both in and outside of the classroom? Just to clarify, once all of our panel members have spoken, we would like for you, our audience members, to ask questions, make comments, or give suggestions to our students. At the conclusion of this panel discussion, please join us and the members of this panel for further dialogue in the Faculty Development Lounge. Thank you very much for attending, and thank you very much for participating. Shall I begin with Ari?
Okay. Hello, my name is Ari Tukes. I was told about EIU from a faculty member and a faculty member from Parkland Community College in Champaign, Illinois. He's also a pastor and fellow alumnus from EIU grad department, Pastor Cypress Hughes. He told me about EIU and the department, and that's when I became interested. I was working in sales and finding myself falling into a deep sort of kind of locked into the program. I felt locked into the field, and I wanted out, but I didn't know that I had a way out. And so he explained how good EIU was and how he appreciated the time spent here, and he told me a lot about the program and a lot about the area. And so myself as well as my wife made time to come down here. We found that very helpful because as we talked to some of the chair of the department, Dr. Roberts, Richard Roberts, he had we called him a couple of days before the initial session ended, the initial time to turn in your paperwork, and he really worked with us, and that made a really good impression as far as the how the faculty will extend their hands out to even students that just call in. I received my bachelor's, my BA at SIU University in Carbondale in liberal arts, and I also minored in African American studies as well. I guess I can go into the question now. A positive and or unique classroom experience I've had as a grad student is not feeling alienated by my peers, by my colleagues, as well as my faculty because of my race. I've actually, many of my student colleagues are white or we'll say Caucasian, if so I won't offend anybody, and they really greeted me more with open arms, very respectful, very kind, and I appreciated that as far as what I thought or how I thought I would be perceived as a student and as an African American male here at EIU. I was kind of concerned, and I was a little worried about how it would be perceived. This experience had allowed me to take a deeper look into the way I think about people outside of my race, as well as just working with people that have never worked with me before, had no experience of what kind of person I was, what kind of personality I was bringing. They were really open, and they didn't allow their lack of working with people outside of their race to display any negative images. I mean, they really received me, so I do appreciate that. I don't see it as a negative, or I haven't received it as a negative response or anything to that degree. The only unique classroom experience I can recall is being the only African American male in the community counseling field, not necessarily the entire counseling student development department. I plan to use this opportunity to leave a lasting impression, and a positive lasting impression as a graduate, up-and-coming graduate of this program, and hope that faculty and colleagues and future enrolling EIU students will benefit from my experience as well as me interacting with them. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Quinette Tukes, and as Ari has stated, I am his wife. I received my BS in psychology from Olivet Nazarene University. Oh, the mic. Oh, okay, sorry. I received my BS in psychology. Push it back. Oh. Is that better? Okay. Is that okay? Testing.
It's not for the room, yeah, it's only for recording.
Okay, I can talk louder. I can talk louder. I can do that. Okay. I received my BS in psychology from Olivet Nazarene University. I am a member of Chi Sigma Iota, which is an honor society in the counseling department. And as I stated, I'm married to Ari. And as he stated, I heard about EIU actually from Pastor Hughes, and he gave such positive attributes to EIU, and he also graduated from the counseling department. And just the personal touch the counseling department had in his life made me curious to find out what EIU had to offer. So we decided to find out more information and went through the process, and here we are now. A positive and unique classroom experience that I've experienced is here at EIU. One of the positive things that I like about our department is it's very one-on-one. One-on-one teaching is very positive for myself as an African American student. I'm very hands-on, and I like the interaction of being able to communicate with my professors, not just during office hours, but even in the classroom. The classrooms are not so large that, like they were in undergraduate, where you feel alienated, like you shouldn't talk to the faculty, you shouldn't talk to the professor, that kind of thing. And being a graduate student, and this being my first experience as a graduate student, I really enjoyed the hands-on that I had with all of my professors, even our chair. He's not unreachable, he's not untouchable, and for me that's very positive. And the interaction that we have in the classroom with our professors and with fellow classmates or colleagues makes it a positive experience for me as an African American. Like I stated before, I'm very hands-on, I need that interaction, and I've gotten that. And so thus far, my classroom experience has been a very positive one for myself. That's it. Thank you.